Hello, everybody. Now it is time for like a Q&A. If you have any experiences that you want to share or thoughts from this session, now is the time. So you can type it into the chat, you can unmute yourself and talk about it. But if you have something that you'd like to share, I think we would all love to hear your thoughts and your experiences.
I have a thought. So when I do this kind of work with you and other kind of energy work, I feel the releases. Like I yawn like crazy, like I'm tears, not all that fun stuff. But I don't feel the emotions of it. And I'm just curious, like, is this because of just all the emotional stuff in my life and it's because of barriers, or is it because of my personality and that's just the way it works and it's okay? Or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're feeling the shifts, I think that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's good. I wouldn't worry about it. This is what I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Mm.
I usually feel big shifts, but not really for this. Can you check to see if I'm processing? I'm getting that you are not, and that you're going to want to scribble this out. It shouldn't take more than an hour, but it should take more than 45 minutes. So I would say to go ahead and scribble about blocks to, this general pre-birth trauma session going through, and then just scribble, like, go watch TV and just scribble it out, and then see if you can try it again. And so I did record this. I broke this up into 8 separate recordings, so you can just go one image at a time and just see if that one goes through. Oh yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to share. I wasn't sure what to expect with this because of my personal knowledge of the pre-earth existence. And so when you were taking us through the War in Heaven sequences, I had already had flashes previous to this of myself in the War in Heaven, brandishing a sword of light and kind of corralling people to the fight of righteousness. And that was like just an image, a flash that was given to me. And so some of the things I wasn't experiencing, but then when you went through the section of looking at your wounds, I wasn't like really experiencing that. And then suddenly I had the feeling, sorry, maybe this won't resonate with anyone else but me, but I felt so much grief because I had wings that had been wounded terribly. And I felt that. I can feel the emotion right now. And the sorrow and grief of these glorious, beautiful, wonderful wings that had been just marred in battle. And feeling right now, feeling almost a physical healing of that take place as we, went through the healing process of that. So I kind of wanted to share that. I also did experience like actual physical, like points like in my liver, and then like in the lower left side of my abdomen that were interesting. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure that other people have felt similar things. I remember when I first started doing this work, and doing like War in Heaven work and like wounding work, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel it. Like, that's crazy. What was I gonna say? It's coming back to me. I have a chapter on this in my Deep Past Resolution book about how when I first started doing energy work and I learned about energetic weapons, and I would be like, I'm going to remove every energetic weapon in myself all at once. And I did it, or so I thought. And then I discovered pre-earth life stuff and War in Heaven wounding. And I found all sorts of other weapons that had been there since the War in Heaven. And I thought, how is this possible? I thought I'd cleared all of my energetic weapons. And so what I've discovered, and even then I like cleared all of them, But occasionally I'll like find a new one that's been there for 10,000 years or whatever. And what I have concluded is that war in heaven weaponry and injuries and stuff like that, they present when we're ready to heal them. So you're not going to be able to clear them all at once, you know? So don't be surprised if you ever rewatch this and new stuff comes up, because that's how it works. It's so much to go through. It's just so much to go through. So I'm getting some messages about like, not sure if things went through. If you don't feel a big shift, I would recommend scribbling on it. Because this is something that our subconscious minds really do want to block. Like a lot of the stuff is really big. So yeah, go scribble on it, do tapping. You can ask your subconscious mind to help you release the block in your dreams tonight when you sleep. Might be pros and cons with that. But it might work, you know. I witnessed a very difficult birth, I'm assuming as an angel, and I vowed not to do that. I gave birth to 5 children through C-section. Yeah, there you go. That's a great example of something that I see a lot, where like people have witnessed these like horrible things and they're like, I will never go through that. And so, but then their whole life is like, you know, for that same thing, you will sometimes find people that don't even conceive, like they want to have kids, but they really don't want to birth kids. And so that kind of energy like stymies them, you know, and you just have to go all the way back to this kind of work and, you know, clear it out at the source. The source is witnessing this difficult birth 2,000 years ago, you know. I always get headaches and they last for a long time afterwards. What can I do to help or prevent it? That would be water, super water, vitamin D. Is something wrong? Did my audio be weird? Drink tons of water, vitamin C, magnesium, Epsom salt bath. All of those will help. But what is going on is you're detoxing, because all of these things we're releasing are physical chemicals inside of our bodies. When we are honoring them, they're like ripping apart, and that's what's making us cry. It's these chemicals changing, and we need to flush them out. And so when you have a lot of stuff going on in your brain processing this, that's what's causing these headaches. You just got to flush it out with water and support yourself with like, yeah, vitamin C and magnesium. Epsom salt baths is magnesium, but just transdermal.
Allie, can I hop in real quick before we go back to the chat? My kids are quiet in the other room, and that's actually interesting because that's why this even like happened in my brain when it happened. I was going through Wounded, and just a really quick back, like into my 48 hours or so, I've been researching and studying the stripling warriors and their mothers, and trying to like figure out how to be a woman of God and that kind of like processing. Okay. And my question like 2 days ago was answered today. And I'm sitting here like tapping and, you know, really being in touch with my physical body and my spiritual body, and my sister's handling my 2 lovely toddlers in the other room, but I can hear them. And they took a moment to come in and grab something they needed. But they saw me, and it was when it hit me like this. This is how they had mothers who knew, is because they saw them praying and doing this kind of healing energy work where they were really being in tune. And oh my gosh, I'm like, super chills right now. Just that we don't need to be private and have babysitters and take, you know, exile them or that sort of thing, that they can't see us doing this honorable work, you know. So that's really just, I had to share that because it was really big for me.
Thank you so much. That's amazing that you bring that up, because my own husband has always been very like, he was previously against my work, and then he was skeptical of my work, and now he is like tolerant of my work. And I don't work on him. He doesn't do anything like this. Like he asked me not to teach our children anything about this kind of work. So my kids don't even know what I do. Like they don't know what a chakra is, you know, like all my friends' kids, I feel like their kids are like getting it, and my kids don't know anything, and it will be their luck. They'll also be like weirdly psychic and they won't know what to do with it, you know, and it's really a tragedy. But just yesterday, somebody messaged me and said, that, let me remember it. I get so many messages, they just run together. I don't even know who it is. Anyway, somebody told me that they watched one of my other sessions recently with their family, their whole family, including their little children.
Mhm.
And they went around the room and had all the little kids, they paused between each image and then had the kids share their experiences. And then it was the polarity session, which is only 15 minutes long. So it's like an easy one. And she just said what a beautiful experience it was for her family. And I thought, you know what, I homeschool, like, I think hopefully my family is in a space now where I could have my kids sit down and we could just do an image as part of homeschool, just do one image from one class every day and just see what happens. And so that's just been something I've been thinking about in the past like 6 hours or something. So I really appreciate you bringing that up because I feel like that is true. And maybe it's time for my family to start doing that too. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
One of my kids said that she needed to be present for this session. Oh, I hope she was. That's so good. I was so struck during the prelude to war and the war that we are experiencing so much of that now and are all being triggered. No wonder the chaos. Yes, that is so true. Yes, when we look around and see what's going on right now, but also all throughout history, you can see how all of us that exist have already been through war, like serious war, in the war in heaven. And then we forgot about it, but we're still traumatized. And so when we see things that remind us of those events, we can start kind of losing it, and it just brings back all these echoes of stuff. So clearing this out now is just really good because who knows what will happen next with our country or the world or whatever. But the only important thing is that you are emotionally healed and that you can be that warrior that sits down in the middle of it and meditates and lets God fight the battle, and just lives by inspiration and not fear. And so hopefully we never have to deal with anything like that, but we clearing out this trauma, it can only bless us. So yeah, some people are talking about not feeling big shifts, scribble, scribble, scribble. This is the kind of stuff we block out. I mean, we pass through that veil of forgetfulness. And I write about this in the book because people will say like, isn't it morally wrong to remember? We pass through the veil, And I feel like, no, it's not wrong. Like we had to forget, but I don't know. I mean, one of my favorite scripture songs says the veil over the earth is beginning to burst. So is it beginning to burst or not? Like, is that true or not? Because if it is true, then we're going to remember whether we want to or not at some point. And so you might as well just say, God, help me remember, and let me clear it, I don't remember why I said that. Okay. Scribble out your blocks. There we go. I felt my heart racing and lightheadedness throughout this session. I had to rock back and forth while breathing or rest my head against the wall. Okay, that's the kind of thing where you want to like pause it and just let yourself process. Scribbling will help because we're just going to be getting out that lightheadedness feeling, the heart racing feeling. We're going to just transmute the energy through motion. And so that should help. If you continue feeling that way like an hour from now, then super scribble and everything like that, because what that means is that your body's not processing it as quickly as it hopefully should be. That your body is processing it, but just really slow, and you just want to speed up the process. You can also journal about it and write in your journal, just say like, God, what do I need to honor about whatever so that these emotions can stop? And just write down what emotions come up, what scenarios come up. When I remember pre-Earth life, it feels fuzzy. So I wouldn't expect like real specifics, like maybe you'll get some, but what I would really be open to is like the feeling of somebody betraying somebody else. And it was really powerful, just very vague. And you just listen, you just grasp onto those vague straws, and you just write them down, tap, breathe, drink tons of water, vitamin C. Okay, I felt a weight lift off, but is there something else I need to do? Okay, I'm gonna do a test for everybody. Is there anyone in the session who has cleared this all 100%? I'm getting yes. More than one person? Getting no. Is that person me? Getting a yes. Okay, so okay, next highest person that has processed has been over 90%, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Okay, so what we're getting is that everyone who has been participating here has not cleared more than 10%. So what that means is scribbling, rewatching, maybe rewatching a couple of times, journaling. Most people are not going to be feeling the full maximum shifts right away because nobody has processed more than 10%. This is big stuff. So I would say come back to it. Give it a day, give it 2 days, come back to it. Why are some of us feeling blocks? Are the reasons different for everyone? Yeah, the reasons are different for everyone. So I can't really say why one person is. I mean, I could, but like, I'm not going to do that right now because there's a whole lot of us. But yeah, you can find out for yourself what your blocks are by journaling. And I'll see if I can find the link for it. I wrote up an exercise that helps with this called the self-healing exercise, where you tune into yourself and you like ask God to tell you exactly what's going on and you write it down. I'll find the link and put it into the lesson material so you can click on that and go through that to help clear the blocks. I feel the shift when tapping on my temple or my forehead, but not when I do it on other points like my collarbone. Is there a reason why one point is or isn't working? I would guess that you probably have some meridian blockages. I'm getting a yes on that for you particularly. So I would, I'm doing a meridian clearing session in probably 3 weeks. I have it planned, but I haven't done it yet. But whatever you can do to help clear your meridians, that will help. I feel like my healing angels followed me here. Yay. I had desires to comfort eat during this session. Do you think that's where my comfort eating stems from, pre-earth trauma? If that is something that triggered that, I would say 100% yes. And I do find that a lot with war in heaven trauma. I've seen it several times where people who are particularly like extremely obese have, I've seen this image of them like hiding in a kitchen during the war in heaven, because our spirits didn't need food, but we still kind of, this is my understanding, we still eat like energetic food, but it was like energy, like eating pure energy. And so in each energy, it would be like the energy of love, energy of peace, and you could like eat it and take it in. And so during the war, mostly men fought, but some women fought, but women, you know, had jobs in like the kitchen and like taking care of stuff, kind of like in real life, like historic battles, like it's mostly men fighting and women are like doing the laundry and like making sure people are eating and taking care of the kids and like whatever. I mean, like we were all kind of grown-ups at that point. There weren't like kids to take care of or something, but there was kind of a gender stratification. Not totally, not totally, but to some extent. And so what I've seen is, yeah, people hiding in kitchens and just like eating and they're just like, if I didn't just eat, like this will make me feel better, you know? So yeah, you can scribble that out. You can journal it out and ask like, is that true for me? Where does my comfort eating come from? Like what pre-earth trauma is linked to comfort eating? Of all the images, the last image about pre-earth contracts is when I felt most affected. It felt like things didn't shift completely. I wanted to shake it out. Yeah, shaking it out. During that, I was saying like tapping, but for me, I was like, wah, shaking it out. Yeah, you can shake it. How many times to watch this section? I'm getting like 4 or 5 times for you. And then like scribbling, shaking. If you, what it can be, so let's ask. I'm getting, ask your own self, but I'm getting that there's like one specific contract that needs to clear and it needs more validation. So these things, everything that we go through needs exact validation to clear. And so that's one reason why I list so many emotions in these images to see how many we can hit, you know, because maybe you don't just feel angry, you feel angry and sorrowful and crying and betrayed. But maybe somebody else feels angry and prideful and, you know, arrogant and, you know, disappointed or something. And so like, you have to have to hit the exact emotions, and you have to hit sometimes the exact scenarios. So what you can do is go into your like happy space in your mind and ask, what is the specific contract that needs to clear? Because if you can identify that, that will probably take care of the issue. So you can ask who it involves, ask if the person is currently alive or if they're dead or if they were never born, and ask what it was about. And you just ask questions until you kind of put it together. And it might take a long time. I mean, sometimes this can take a really long time, but you just do it until it gets done. Take notes so you can put it away if you have to and come back later. You keep saying scribble on it. What topic specifically? Whatever topic everyone is dealing with, scribble on your own topic for your own self. That's, I mean, you just, whatever you're having trouble with, you write down that and that's your topic. Is there such a thing of being afraid of your own power? Yes, 100%. Had to find it, but John 14:26, the Holy Ghost will bring all things to your remembrance. We had to forget, but that does not mean we are not meant to remember. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh, I should have put that one in my book. Oh, genius. Yes. Thank you. I ordered and read this book back in December 2018, and I've loved pondering and using this information. Oh, yay. Thank you. Good. I love this book. Like, I know I wrote it, but so I'm like very biased, but I still love it. Like when I have reread it, I'm like, yes, I'm a genius. This is the best. But I love it. Will scribbling help with my detesting journaling? Yeah, just write I detest journaling and scribble on it. I'm getting it to take about 45 minutes for you. Okay, whew, that was a lot. My ear is ringing and I'm very hot. I feel like there's something I'm missing. And is that ringing very new? When do you remember which image it started on? I'm getting there's a block being triggered in the ear, something you don't want to hear. Sneezing is an energy release, totally. Yeah, and think about it, you're totally clearing from like your brain. So congratulations. It started after we've been talking. I'm getting you could scribble out this ear ringing and this unresolved feeling in about 15 minutes. So I would say to scribble that out. And I'll type in that. If you fall asleep during an image, then that means your subconscious mind is blocking that image. And so you need to like tap, scribble, go dance it out, and then try it again. Yeah, it means you're not ready to face it yet. Is my back pain related to this deep past healing? I mean, is your back pain starting right now? Did it just start? My gut and heart hurts from this session. Gut and where are you? Gut and heart hurts from this session. I'm getting that, I mean, double check Cindy, but I'm getting that stems from image number 7, which is the one where we kind of went through a whole lot of different stuff. Anything that was ready to release from witnessing stuff on Earth. So I would rewatch that image and write out and like kind of journal out. Just ask like, what did I witness that is triggering this? Because just honoring that and then letting it flow through you is what's going to clear that. My throat feels tight. For you, I'm getting that has to do with the contracts section. So I would say sit with that and feel out, is something you didn't say, something you did say is what I'm getting. See if you can ask yourself to remember what it was that you say that you said that you regret, and tap it out and breathe it out. I'm letting go of the things I said that I regret. Like I'm forgiving myself for the things that I said that I regret. Okay. Is my back pain related to this deep past healing? I'm getting it is related to deep past stuff, but I don't know that this exact session will clear it. So you're probably going to want to dig deeper on that. I totally zoned out on a couple of the images. Yeah, that means your brain is blocking it, which is fine because again, nobody in here processed this stuff more than 10%. So I would say don't push it. Give it a few days and then just go image by image and work through them until they clear 100%. So when I created this session, I knew that it was going to be big and that it was going to be too big to process in one night. But the big problem is that we all have this big kind of trauma, and I really wanted it to be available for people to work through at their own convenience, And so I feel like this session completes that purpose, but it's going to take a couple of watch throughs. Like it's going to take some work on your end, to really go through and give each image the full attention to get it cleared 100%. I understand that I may need to come back to the session in order to clear more things, but it seems there's one contract I need to run by you that I haven't been able to clear. Do you know what the contract is? I sometimes feel nauseous and like I need to gag and choke. I did again tonight. Is there a specific reason or anything that I should do? I'm getting yes, back of the throat. I'm getting a vagal nerve disconnection. And so when you're processing, see if this feels accurate, but when you're processing, it's like it gets stuck in that spot where the vagal nerve energy is not fully connected. So I'm getting scribbling would not take care of that issue. You could probably visualize it healing and like journal about it. Like that's kind of the kind of thing that I would need like to do like a personal session on for that. But yeah, I think journaling on it and doing some really good visualizations to heal that gap. See if you can imagine that gap in the energy that's causing trouble and imagine it healing. And it might take a while. It might take a few nights of really good visualizing before you go to bed. But that's what I would focus on, vagus nerve. The energy of the vagus nerve, not the literal vagus nerve, but its energetic counterpart, like the spirit of the vagus nerve. I'm feeling blocked or numb. Yeah, I felt like I had a huge release, but muscle testing says 7%. I'm looking forward to getting to 100%. Exactly. Yes. Like having a huge release and it's been like less than 7% of this session. Like, yes, that's exactly right. Can you process this trauma if you're pregnant? Is there a way that the unborn child could interfere, or is it possible to clear things, to clear trauma for them in utero? Here's the thing. You can process whether you're pregnant. That's not a problem. Don't try to process for somebody else at the same time as yourself, especially with something this big. Like you have to focus on yourself first. Whenever people try and process for multiple humans at the same time, it just causes so many problems. Like it just messes with your energy field. It doesn't get the job done. So like, don't process for your baby, process for you. And then when you are at 100%, then you start over and you do it for your baby. Galaxy S10 feeling blocked or numb. Can I clear yet? No. Just big fears about feeling these things. So you're going to want to like sit with that fear and honor it and let yourself know that it is safe. When I am doing my own deep past healing, just like in my house, like I wake up in the night and it's like, tonight's the night, I'm gonna clear this trauma, So I come downstairs and I start feeling this fear of like, I don't want to remember this. And I have to kind of like give myself a pep talk and be like, I have a body now. Like, it's not happening now. Like, it's not here and now. Like, it's safe to feel this now. It's safe. And so when I do this exercise, the self-healing exercise, I'll post in the lesson section of the recording. I'll honestly, it's so painful. You know, when I say, help me remember the full pain so I can let it go, it feels like my spirit's being ripped apart, but it's not. That's the thing. You're going to feel the pain, but it's not happening in real time. Like you feel the pain, but it's not actually ripping you apart. You feel ripped up, but you're not getting ripped up. You're just honoring it so it can go forever. And you feel so much better afterwards. So feeling blocked or numb, that's okay. Give it some time. Ask your subconscious mind to process in your dreams, scribble, journal, and give yourself that pep talk of like, I know it's scary, but it's okay. Like we have a body now. Bodies process this stuff so fast. We can just process this, you know. Spirits can't process this kind of stuff like bodies can process it. So that's what I'd say. Okay, I think it has to do with my family and being shackled. I'm going to give you the homework to keep writing out and getting really specific on what that contract is. And when you are 100% sure, like 90% sure that you got it right, then come and I'll take a look at what you got. It'll be a good exercise for your intuition. When I muscle test, I get that I cleared 100% from this session. Ask specifically if you cleared 100, like what my guess would be is that you cleared 100% of what your spirit allowed you to process for this session, not of what was possible to process from this session. So that's what I would say to double check for yourself. I was a little confused about the first image of the string. What does the string represent? I'd rather not get into that in this right here, but it is a symbolic image, so you don't actually have to know, you just have to like go with the image. So you can just imagine the string representing yourself. What are some ways to know what percent we have processed when we revisit the recorded sections? How can we know when we've processed something 100%? When you tune into yourself and you feel like, I'm done with this, I have processed it 100%, then I would say to, you know, that's probably good. If you muscle test, you can muscle test on it. But yeah, just feel it out for yourself. Like, for example, the betrayal section, like if you still are dealing with a lot of weird betrayal stuff in your life, then maybe you haven't completely cleared all that stuff, even if you maybe feel like you have. So you kind of feel it out. And when you are done, you should like feel it in your soul, like now it's done, you know. Like when I think back on certain parts of, you know, my own pre-earth stuff I've cleared, it's like, that's so done, totally done. I felt a lot of shifts and emotion in Prelude to War, but then I almost fell asleep during witnessing trauma. Did I mostly clear Prelude to War, or do I need to go back to that one? I'm getting to go back to that one. You can Google vagus nerve reset foot zone, and there are points on the foot to reset your vagus nerve. Excellent, thank you for that. Yes. Left side feminine. Yeah, I love that. Elizabeth says blocked left ear is the feminine side, perhaps a message from a female that you aren't hearing. Yeah, yep. Scribble on the block to hear the message. Yeah, totally. It could be a message from a female, like female guardian angel, ancestor, something like that, or from your own feminine side that maybe was afraid. I mean, a lot of people's gender issues come from the war in heaven. And so I mentioned in the session about how people would like mutilate their own energy fields in a way to protect themselves. And so what I found was that a lot of times girls would say like, well, if I don't look like I have girl energy, then maybe boys won't want to attack me, or like maybe I'll be safer, you know. They won't attack me the way that boys attack girls, you know what I mean? And so they would like chop off their female energy, or they would like make like fake male energy and put it on, you know. And the same thing with men, you know, in these different situations, they might say, man, like all these other boys are protecting these girls, so maybe if I just like chop off my male energy and like slap on some female energy, then people will you know, maybe they will protect me too. And so, so you find this kind of like gender bending energy from the war in heaven, where people are like disguising themselves, like, or they'll say, I hate that I feel so weak. You know, I hate that I'm this weak girl. I can't fight the way that I wish I could fight. I'm just going to chop off some of my feminine energy. And so like, so a lot of us have done that. When I discovered this in my own self, and I looked down and realized I had crafted myself like masculine, energetic, like basically genitalia. And I was like, what the heck is this doing here? Goodbye, you know? But I think that's actually really common, that, and especially today with like gender stuff on the rise, people not knowing what gender they are, all this kind of stuff. A lot of it, I think, comes from war in heaven trauma. And I also think a lot of it comes from vaccines. But the point is that that time was just a really big time for messing with our own energies, and it caused a lot of troubles, and we're all still dealing with it now. Unless you consciously fix it, it basically doesn't get fixed. Oh my, I won't read that. I got someone's message. I won't share it. Yeah, the string for me is exciting, hopeful, a beautiful gold color. And everyone says, my string is gold too. That's perfect. Gold is a great color to be. So that's great. What does it mean to be exciting and hopeful? I would say that sounds very exciting and hopeful. I think that sounds really good, right? So very good. Okay, any other questions or anything before we go? Yay, well, thank you guys so much for being here. Again, this is a doozy class, so I recommend giving yourself some days to process it. Journal if you can, scribble, shake it out, drink a lot of water, vitamin C, get a lot of sleep, and just come back to it. Come back to it, you know, over the coming weeks, and just pick one image. I chopped it all up into images, so you can just pick one, rewatch it. And I think that will be really helpful. And I'm excited for you to feel what it feels like to clear it 100%. So that will be fabulous. You guys are the best. I will see you later.